Hi everyone, this is Kay, and you're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to new viewers, and thank you to subscribers, new subscribers and subscribers that have been with me for a while. Thank you so much. And I want to say that if you want to subscribe, it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a thing. So if you want to subscribe, like, share, comment, I would be very, very much appreciative. And so without further ado, guys, let's get into a general for the collective. And I must say, happy Monday, right? Right. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. I got a lot done around the house. I was very pleased with myself. And so it's President's Day long weekend here. Not everybody gets it off in the US, but if you're in the US, happy President's Day. And I hope you have the day off. So let's get some information from the wisdom, the Oracle of the Wisdom, to start the reading. First one, a deep knowing. So again, there's something that you know deep, you have a kind of a gut feeling, like intuitively that the two of you, your love interest, someone you're interested in, or maybe not even, maybe you're angry at them right now, cross watcher. Maybe you're angry at them right now, but you somehow know, even so, that that they're a soulmate. They're a very highly connected divine soulmate for you. And that might be what makes you angry at the same time, because if your divine soulmate is hesitating to reach out to you or to make things better between you, to try and heal things, and you're just not hearing from them because for whatever their reasons are, you might be angry about that, okay? But or disappointed at least. But you do have a deep knowing that this individual is your soulmate. Now, from my understanding, we're all soulmates because we're all souls. We all have souls. So we all, there's no separation. In reality, there is no separation. Therefore, everyone is a mate because everyone is ourselves. It goes very esoterical, but in any case, we are all connected. So we're all soulmates. But the further down the dimensional levels we get in this illusion, there are specific people who would be really a vibrational match to you, more so than others. So then therefore that's where the soulmates idea comes from. Okay. So Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit, thank you so much for enveloping me in your beautiful angelic wings of guidance, protection, and love. Please guide and assist me today with correctly interpreting the energies in the cards for the collective and to help me see clearly. Archangel Michael and Holy Spirit, what messages do you have that the collective want to and need to know for today's date, Monday, February the 12th? No, February 19th, 2024. Holy cow, guys, we're already past the midway mark, and we're going into the end of February already. Holy smokes. So Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, this is the past, present, and future cards right here, okay? So what's the past energy? Tornado. Oh my goodness. I mean, I shuffle these things like there's nobody's business. I shuffle them and I just shuffle them in front of you. So between readings, I shuffle them like a mad woman. And that came up yesterday, I think, in the exact same location. Then we have road, crossroads, journey, multiple choice, travel, weigh the options, decide, free will, opportunity, independent, and a road trip. Ooh, number 22, that's a master number. And number 8 is like an abundance number, okay? It's sitting in your seat of power of abundance. But yeah, 22 is definitely a master number, and you boil it down to 44, so 2 plus 2, not 44, but 4. And 4 is a strong foundational card. So you're starting at where you will, whatever decision you make will be the type of foundation you will build and build upon. So you're at the crossroads here in the present time. Okay, what's the near future? We have the stork, transformation, change, active, renew, restless, arrive, depart, move, renovate, pregnancy, birth, slender, and tall. Very interesting. So what do I see, guys? I see that they're, like, to me, in a sense, you know, the Tower card in the Lenormand is not the same as the Tower. It doesn't have the same energy as the Tower card in the Tarot card. Tarot, because the Tarot is all about, it just dissolves, it's blown up, it's like, it's the end of something, relationship, circumstances, mind state, you know, mindset, stuff like that. So the Lenormand Tarot is all about, you know, reaching higher ground, having a better perspective, feeling safe and secure, blah, 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 blah. That's total difference, okay? You're not feeling so safe and secure in the Tarot Tower. You're feeling like things are just like turned into a shitstorm. So this is kind of what I see this card as being. It's a storm brewing. It's torn up. It's a sudden, unexpected end. Violent, a total wreck. Breakdown, liberated, over and done with, and the end. So something has been blown up. It is like it has been talked about and thought about and did about for such a long time. It took a toll on you, but it also took time. It took time to put the final nail in the coffin. If this was a coffin sitting here, the same idea. It's over and done with. You are free. You're liberated. Something's done. Maybe you were in like just you're in either a devoted committed relationship, or this is the collective I'm talking to, not the cross-watcher. Either a committed or a spouse marriage, which of course is committed, but you can be in a committed without being married, right? So you were in either one of those with somebody, a partner, and it went wrong. Somewheres along the way, it went wrong. Maybe your partner cheated on you, or you cheated on them. Things were found out. It was a sudden and unexpected end. It might have been violent in the sense of, you know, being abusive towards each other, if not like physically, but emotionally, maybe even mentally. Might have. That's just for some of you. So it was a total wreck. Everything just like kind of went down the toilet. It's really fast, flushed down the toilet. The whole connection, the whole trust for each other, just even feelings for each other, just kind of broke down. And you and your partner may have decided that you're just not in it with you, or she's not in it with you, he's not in it with you, or you're not in it with he or she anymore. I mean, just the feelings are different now. Something that you don't feel you can recoup. And maybe you don't want to. I mean, maybe in a sense it's liberated so much so that you just feel like it's time to move on. And it was time for this to happen. And like it was bound to happen. You know, you can see a tornado coming from a ways away. Unless it's going to touch, you know, come out of the sky and touch the ground right in front of your eyeballs. But usually you can see it coming from a long ways away because it's massive, right? It's a big one. And it's whatever path it's on, whatever's on its path, it's going to be shredded to pieces, and those pieces are going to fly everywhere. And the good thing about that is that wherever they land, it's a new beginning kind of thing for that piece of house, for that board, for that nail. You know, it's a new beginning. It's somewhere they hadn't been before. But for you too, emotionally, it's a new beginning, because your old structure that's been there in your relationship is just like that tornado came along and it made sure that structure was just blown to bits. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at just the idea of it in my mind with the tornado. But yeah, it's blowing your whole relationship to bits and pieces, and there's no recouping it. Like once a tornado has its say with a structure, excuse me guys, that structure, that exact structure will never be the same again. It'll never actually be again. It's done. It's over and done with. And so you are presently picking up your pieces in these new locations, you know, new places in your emotional landscape, really, quite literally, your own emotional landscape. And you've come to a crossroads where the sun is peeking out at you, okay? Crossroads. Do you see kind of how the sun is on this side of the card as opposed to in the middle or on this side? Well, it's telling you to go right, the right road, the right way, doing things the right way so you can avoid tornadoes in the future. You have a deep knowing about what is right and what is wrong. You may have actually been connecting with your inner self, your soul, may have been actually looking at your subconscious fears and your wounded child, which is your subconscious fears, right? Your wounded inner child, that which you have largely ignored or completely didn't realize and ignored. You know, like a lot of us, we hear about the inner child, right? But we don't necessarily know what that means. And it means nothing to us. So therefore, we're not going to pay any attention to it and figure out what it means for the majority of us. Some of us go, inner child? Huh? What's that? Let me look that up. You know, you start Googling or buying books, start reading, which I did, okay? Because it's like, there's got to be something to this if spiritual teachers are talking about inner child wounding. So I paid attention to it, and but it took me almost a lifetime, 20-some years, to really grasp, really truly grasp what this wounded inner child situation was about for me. And it wasn't until my dad died, just before he died, I didn't want him to die thinking I didn't love him, or thinking that he didn't love. I didn't want him leaving the earth believing, or at least thinking or guessing, that maybe I thought he didn't love me, if that makes sense. Yeah, it was a whole family dynamic thing. But I said, I'm not going to let my dad go across the rainbow bridge, leave this physical plane where we're all together like this, without him realizing how much I know he loves me. Yeah, so, and that's a soulmate, right? My dad and I are a soulmate. And my mom and I are a soulmate. My sister and I are a soulmate. You know, my child and I are a soulmate. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's a romantic partner, soulmate, okay? But in this, because I do love readings, this is a love soulmate. But you're at a crossroads. You've been, at least for the last 4 weeks, if not longer, but at least for the last 4 weeks, you've been at a crossroads, and you've had multiple choices as to what you're going to do. But you've been considering traveling. And you have been weighing your options, like the 7 of Cups kind of thing in the tarot. You will use your free will to seize an opportunity as an independent individual now. You're not towing anybody else with you. You might be towing children or a child, but you're not towing a love relationship with you to wherever it is that you're going to be going. You are single and independent right now. Right now. That's what it's, independent. Now, you might be married, but you're so very much like, okay, yeah, I've been married all these years, and especially lately, I feel like I've been living, not married, living on my own. Like living independently, because my spouse has been this, my spouse has been doing that, and not really including me in their life, even though I might have been trying to get them included in my life. They have been resistant to it for whatever their reasons are, and they have their own inner child wounding going on, and scarcity beliefs, and feeling unworthy. right? So they do what they do, and it was up to me to decide whether I was going to be happy with that or not. And for a time, I was happy with that. I mean, not happy, but I, lived with it, right? I lived with it because this is my marriage, and this is my life right now. This is what I'm doing. And not all marriages just are rainbows and sunshine, right? So you just kind of sucked it up and carried on. But it got to the point where you just said, you know what? You've had a lot of time to think about things. You've gone into a deep knowing, like tapping into your inner wisdom, your intuition, and really thinking, giving this a good think. You went into a think tank like the hermit mode, or just some kind of isolation where you just spent some time when you could, which might have been a lot because she wasn't really around or including you in her life. I say her, why am I saying her? I don't know, but his life. So you started to see that you have largely been living independently anyways, you just kind of feel like you're single anyways, even though you're in the same house as your spouse or long-term partner, and you're supposed to be committed to each other as a committed partnership, but it just doesn't feel like it feels like neither of you are really spending any time with each other anymore. It seems like even if you're in the same room, you're both doing different things. It has nothing to do with spending time with the other. Okay? So you have known that this person has been a soulmate to you, but it's been more like a karmic soulmate. Somebody who has been teaching you some lessons with the way they've been behaving. Because if you haven't been happy or you've been dissatisfied with the way things are going, you started changing your mind about what your priorities are going to be. Like, who are you paying attention to? Is it going to be that in the marriage, or is it going to be to what it is you're all about? You started paying attention to what's true for you, what's good for you, and what's ultimately for your highest best moving forward, good for you. So you've started to have a different view on your life, a different perspective, maybe like the hanged man position that the divine puts you in, because the divine is listening to your heart and knows where your heart wants to be. Even though you're where you are, the divine knows what your heart really wants, okay? And so the divine said, you've been taking the left road all this time, which is, it's not the wrong way. It's not doing anything the wrong way. It's the left way. And for lefties, I apologize. I'm right, right-handed. So I just automatically do something to the right and, choose a direction, I'll go right. And you being left, if you're left, you automatically go left. So it's just the reverse for you then when I'm talking about this card. But yeah, the divine says, let's go right this time. And right is really like growing up, ascending. Growing up is ascending, becoming enlightened and awakened. It's all the same, it's the same thing I'm talking about, experience that I'm talking about, but using different words. So enlightened, awakened, and spiritually grown, all about are the same thing, or grown up. Grown up emotionally is spiritually growing. All right, we're getting our emotions under control, and we're listening to our emotions more, our heart, right? That balance between the mind and the heart. Okay? So you also know that there is a soulmate is going to be on this path, and a new path that you're going to be changing to take now that you're independent. You might still be in the process of legal separation and divorce if you're married, but it's like I said, you've been feeling independent for a long time, like you're single anyways, even though you're married. Just the marriage is just not, it wasn't a cohesive one. The two of you weren't present with each other. You weren't spending time with each other in an intimate, and I don't necessarily mean sexual, which it can also mean that, but I'm speaking about intimate, being present with each other intimately, just being so into each other that you just want to talk to each other, find out what each other's days were like, and Just what do you, how have you been feeling today? What did you think about today? And then he might say, well, I've really been thinking a lot about you, and in that really sexy bathing suit, stuff like that. When we were at the beach the other week, just different things where you really are into each other. You just kind of you need to know about each other. You need to know everything about your partner, and vice versa. And it's not just the honeymoon phase. You'll be doing this even through all those years of raising kids. And all the years after raising kids, you're still doing it. You're still into each other. You just want to be close to each other, touching, putting arms around, kissing, whatever, rubbing each other's backs, that kind of thing. So there's the near future is the stork. And so the transformation is that there's changes that are arriving, okay? There's changes that are arriving. There's going to be a new birth to something, like maybe a rebirth, okay? You may be moving, thinking about moving, but the main thing is the change that's coming about is transforming you, and as it transforms you from the inside out with the help of the divine, your whole life transforms, because whatever is going on inside of you is what is reflected in your environment. And your environment, not just your home, your yard, your neighborhood, town, and it includes all of that, but it's also in your world. Like the people that you start meeting, that they don't even live in your area, but you might meet them online, or you go to some kind of conference or meeting, or who knows, just somewhere. You go to something, a hotel, you're at work, but you have to travel this time, and you meet them either at the conference you're going to, or you meet them at the job site you're going to because you consult maybe, or you meet them at the hotel. Yeah, I mean, it's at the restaurant that you go to eat that night, kind of thing. It's just like your whole world starts expanding, and new people and new things, new opportunities, new experiences end up showing up in front of your face, quite literally, as you move forward, because of the transformation you're making inside of yourself. You're healing your wounded inner child. You're paying attention to your child. You're saying, I love you, I support you, I'm here for you, and I'm going to, from now on, listen to you, because I know you're crying out for a reason. And the reason you're crying out is because there's this old pain from childhood that's been dragged into your adulthood, where your inner child is still there saying, I need to heal this. I'm crying. I'm sad. I want to know this. I'm in pain. I want support. I want to be healed. I want you to pay attention to me and take me seriously, because you, after all, is me. And this pain I'm feeling as inner wounded child is actually pain you're experiencing as well. There's no separation, but it just makes it a little easier to explain it like that. So there we go. We got those 3 cards. That's the past, present, and near future. So right now, you are experiencing a crossroad after the tornado. After the tornado came in and blew your whole life up, and quite literally. May not really have touched your career or job or whatever, but it probably touched everything else. Your best friends even. But the best of best friends, if they truly are your best friend, they'll be sticking with you. So that won't really go away. But everything else is going to change, or has changed. Okay, so Archangel Michael, the past with tornado, please. Unexpected income. Yeah, something was unexpected. It said unexpected end. And your anchor. So an unexpected end came about. And you might have gotten some unexpected income as well, but it wouldn't be unexpected income is like something that you usually have, because it's income. It's usually something you've earned. All right, so it's not significant, but it's helpful. It could be like a bonus you didn't expect for good work you've done, or your company started paying out for Christmas bonuses and stuff like that. So maybe you get an extra week's holiday. So that's paid holiday, right? Something like that. Or you've had some medical expenses and you overpaid something, so the medical company sent a refund back to you of what it is that you overpaid. And that was like, and I know in the US medical expenses can be really high, so if you get a refund, it might be a good chunk of change, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, but if it's not money, it's that you had an unexpected lifting of an anchor that you had, throwing your anchor into the ocean to be anchored to that particular spot in your emotional life with your person, with your love partner, collective. So this whole idea of feeling safe and secure amongst all the emotional upheavals, the big waves and storms and stuff like that, having this commitment with somebody, before when you were single, if you had a rift with somebody, chances are that was a goodbye, But when you're married, it's more like a guarantee, and there is no guarantees, I understand, but it's more so like with that license, that piece of paper, if it's a marriage, is saying we're going to be working on these things together. We're not just going to, uproot and run off. This first sign of a red flag, So this is like an unexpected. You didn't really expect it. So which means it could be something that your spouse or long-term partner was doing that was keeping it hidden from you, and such as maybe an affair, right? Or having liquidated all your investments, because she was on the investment, she or he was on the investment, so they just signed their name and it was put into the account, and it might have been directed into a different account that you didn't really check very often. And why would you? Because you didn't expect to be liquidating any of your investments anytime soon, and you trusted your partner. But suddenly you found out, maybe someone gave you some insight about something, told you something you didn't know, and now you know. So that was the past. That's where things just, suddenly and unexpectedly blew up. Put your relationship into survival mode, and then after some time thinking about it and realizing nothing really has changed, that survival mode was no longer survival. It was just like, it's the end. There's no reviving it. It's gone. It's gone. I just don't have the same feelings anymore. I'm so disheartened, heartbroken, and flabbergasted by the gull, in front of me, in my same house, under my very nose. She or he has been doing this, and I didn't realize it. But you now do. So, crossroads, the road, we have thief. Oh yes, there's your crossroads right there. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but some people are so in pain and so attached to a particular person and relationship. That commitment of having that bubble where the two of you are in it, and you're safe in that bubble. You don't ever have to deal with the outside world in terms of love anymore. And so it's nice just to be encapsulated in there with your love partner that you've chosen and married and just chosen to be with and stuff like that. You don't want to break that bubble. You don't. Because you're just attached. You were attached to it. So near future, stork. We have looked more closely, take a second look. And the angels are going to help you with that, by the way. 44. Yeah, that's the angel number, is going to help you take a closer look. So the divine, the divine is in this. We already established that. But 27 is sending out a message. It's interesting too. This is 27 in the Kipper deck, 27 in their Gilded Reverie deck. That's a 9. So it's like it's a completion. It's coming to an end. Something is coming to an end. Just a matter of one more second, and it's ended. So somebody's letting you know something about an ending. I mean, you are letting someone know, or someone is letting you know about something that you're going to be taking a closer look at. But I think I'm going to finish pulling out the cards. Sorry, guys. I've shaken these cards up. I really have. Okay, the past. We have bear, danger, especially in money matters. Well, holy smokes, were we not just talking about that? This is the right now, happiness. Present day is happiness. Wow, okay. There's the sun, full of happiness. And the near future is flagged. Don't be tempted to lower your standards. Oh, look at this. Let's just check out this one. Wealth. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Now wealth can also mean like wealth in health, wealth in your career prospects, and promotions and bonuses, upgrades, stuff like that. Storks is upgrades, improvements, and movement. Movement, upgrades, and improvement. Okay? Just take my sweater off, guys. So don't be tempted to lower your standards and stay the course. Stay the course, okay? Just stay the course. Well, here we go. Let's get the tarot. Try and help us bring it all together. Archangel Michael, if you will. Thank you. So what do we have to say about the past energy of tornado, unexpected income, anchor, and the bear? Danger, especially in money matters. Danger. Bear is a formidable opponent, is it not? Right? Okay. 10 of Cups. That's the commitment. The Lovers. Aha. Yeah. Okay, I mean, I'm going to say something like she or he took on a lover, your partner, spouse. This is a marriage. This is a commitment. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a marriage, but it can be. 10 of Cups. Ooh. 4 of Swords. So you've been taking some respite time out right now. Very good. That's the thing to do. And the Ace of Cups, and that's learning about loving yourself, that it's you who's number one. And we don't do this from an egotistic mindset. We do this from an awakened mindset. Like, we are learning that there's so much more to us than the ego, than the body and the personality living in the 3D dimension, the third dimension of vibrancy, of frequency, vibratory frequency, right? There's the fourth, but the fourth is just space, okay? Space resonancy, because there's like the world, there's the physical matter, 3D, and then there's space. So I don't ever talk about the fourth dimension. It goes from the fifth dimension, where really spirit is hanging out, waiting for us to call them off your couch, waiting for you, us, to call them off our couch, and so that they can stand up and get dusted off, because they've been collecting dust there, waiting for us to pay attention to them, asking them for help. Yeah, so you know that something has to do with paying attention to your inner wounded child, which is basically paying attention to you. Because whatever wounds you received as a child, you're going to try and think about what those things are that you have dragged into adulthood with you, because you're still operating as a child in that situation, in those circumstances. When the circumstances come around again in adulthood, like in a relationship, especially one where you're wanting to be close to somebody, relationship, when those circumstances are just right, they're going to pull up those old feelings and beliefs about stuff from the subconscious mind, that part of the mind that stays mostly hidden, except it bubbles up like a pot of water boiling on the stove. It bubbles up to the surface all the time it's bubbling up. But for the most part, we either consciously or unconsciously deal with a thought, a memory, or whatever that might have made you feel bad, angry, regretful, remorseful. We kind of deal with it without really affecting our making an effect, in some indelible effect in that very day that you're feeling like that. Our very day, we can pretty much, it's like crowd control, right? Crowd control, where we're mind controlling. We're mind controlling ourselves, our mind. So we are allowing, things are coming up whether we allow it or not. It's coming up, but it's what we choose to pay attention to or not, given the situations and circumstances you're facing in your day, what you're dealing with in your day. If it doesn't seem to fit what's going on in your day, you just go, oh, whatever. You push it back down, and that bubble just bursts, and it has to go away, and it doesn't really go away. It just goes back down because it's going to bubble back up again another time. But when something's going on in your life that is a really good match to what those bubbles are down there, those belief systems and that pain, when it bubbles up again, because it's, like I said, they're always bubbling up. When it bubbles up again, it's going to be like, bam, you are even more angrier. You are even more upset. You are taking this situation that you're facing right now today to heart, like you're taking it personally, and it's just like, I can't let this one go. I can't just unconsciously or consciously just wave that off this time. I'm livid, I'm this, I'm that. I'm really hurt. More so because it's matching what's already down there. So what I'm trying to tell you is that what's ever down there is what's been going on ever since you had excuse me, whatever experiences you had in the past as a child that never got resolved, never got healed, never was looked at and said, you know what, my child, you deserve to be happy. Tell me all about what's going on. Let's talk about this. Let's heal this, because, I don't want you feeling like this. You needed someone to comfort you, to help you understand what was happening. And that those defense mechanisms you were putting up, you needed somebody of authority to be able to tell you that you don't need to have those defense mechanisms, because you're perfectly safe. As long as you have me around, we're gonna move through your childhood together, kind of thing, right? Well, you didn't have that. So it wasn't resolved, it wasn't healed, it wasn't taken care of, it wasn't supported, it wasn't comforted. And so you have it with you as a memory, a painful memory deep down inside of you. So when you have another experience in a relationship where you're communicating, engaging with someone, and it's just not going right, even a stapler, for Pete's sakes, if you have a stapler that just won't staple, why won't you staple? And you open up, you see there's staples in there. This happened to me. There's staples in there, so what the hell's going on here? Why aren't you working? And so I put it back down, and I try and say, it's still not working. I say, oh my God. So you pull it open, and you pull out the staples, and you realize that one's been, crunched, and it's rammed up inside there. And now you need like pliers to get them out, because there's no way you're going to be able to get it out with your fingernail or any other reason. You can't bang it out. You're just like getting really frustrated, because all you want is a simple staple in this paper, right? And you're going through this whole rigmarole, and you don't have another stapler to use. You don't even have a paper clip. So you need to be able to fix it. You need to resolve it. So that whole anger and frustration that's coming up just over a simple not being able to get a staple out of your stapler is like it's tenfold now frustration, and maybe anger. Because there's something that all you needed was just a little tiny bit of attention to your plea for mommy or daddy. I need you to look at this. I need your help with that. It might be like you lost your ball, your favorite toy, in the playpen and you're way too short to get in there and get it yourself. You needed an adult to bend over and grab it for you, but you couldn't continue playing. You couldn't carry on your day until you had that particular toy. It had to be that one. So you're like, mommy or daddy, you know, and they're like waving you off saying like, get out of here, get out of here. And you say, my toy, my toy. And they might actually take a moment to look and see that your toy's in the playpen and they understand what the conflict is here, but they'll say, go get it yourself or go bother somebody else, you know? So it's like you're totally been dejected. Like your parent doesn't care enough to try and resolve a conflict for you, with you, you know, and when you asked for the help. So let's just face it, guys, if you ask for help from people that you turn to, like as a child, and you don't get the help that you really needed, chances are when you grow up, you're not going to know that asking for help is it's a requirement, really. Asking for help is a requirement. Whether it's with people you know in your life or if it's asking God for help. For you to grow and evolve and to mature into an emotionally controlled and stable individual. When you're emotionally stable, your mind and your heart are together talking to each other. And there's nothing in your life that you can't do because your mind is listening to your heart's desires and taking that seriously now because you have emotional stability. There's no more of the up and down, right? So when you start listening to your heart and your heart has your attention, like the little kid, the kid has your attention, there's nothing that you can't do because you're feeling totally supported. You're not being dejected or rejected or abandoned or abused in any way, shape, or form. You have good knowledge now. You have good knowledge now with the mind. You have good knowledge to be able to put it into use in order for you to be able to build upon your life now from a stable foundation of heart-mind partnership together. I hope that makes sense. So you are like this here was unexpected. Your whole foundation went for naught, and this one here is talking about how the foundation you need to build now, being independent, is to turn within, listen to your inner child, heal those old wounds, figure out what they are for you, because it's different for everyone, but there's a whole lot of the sameness across people and cultures as to what children experience in their childhoods that they need coping mechanisms for. You know, defense mechanisms. So you need to figure that out if you really truly want to be happy. And this happy is not fleeting. This happiness is the kind of happiness that is sustained. Sustained happiness. Okay, even enlightened people, like fully enlightened people, they have moments where they're not necessarily like, oh, yeah, everything's great. Oh, I'm having a great time. No, it's more like it's on a calm, even keel, where even a little sadness might creep in from nostalgia moments, you know, thinking about the past, about something. But the enlightened people, they quickly self-correct. They quickly self-correct. They realize right away, they become aware that they're dipped into a lower vibe feeling, emotional feeling, and they bring themselves up by changing what they're thinking about. And might sometimes even lead to doing something that maybe you'd been sitting on in your living room watching TV, and whatever you're watching invoked some kind of feeling of nostalgia, and you started feeling like that, and you're thinking, oh, wait a minute, I don't like this feeling. And you say, well, you know, either I need to start thinking about something different. Well, you're watching TV, so you're going to be paying attention to TV instead of thinking about something. So the next best thing is to get up and turn your TV off, get up and do something else. Do something else that will take your mind off it completely. Okay? So that there are ways to deal with the lower vibration feelings that we don't want to experience. Now, there are some people, trust me, there are some people who want to feel depressed and sad, discouraged. There really are. It's like, because it's such a familiar feeling. It's just kind of like it's been your way of life their way of life. And so it's a familiar thing, like eating, turning to, what do they call it? Comfort food, right? When we've had a bad day or a bad experience or discussion or argument or something like that, we'll come home and look in the fridge. What can I eat that I can eat right now, and it's going to be sweet and it's going to be, you know, fulfilling and fattening. Okay? Yeah, same kind of idea. People turn to what's familiar, and if you're familiar a lot with, unfortunately, with sadness, depression, you know, discouragement, it's going to be easy to turn to sit in that lower vibration. So when you grow, though, you start become aware that has been a pattern for you, and it's caused you a lot of grief as a result, because what we think and feel is what we create in our life. So we bring people into our lives that are going to match that lower vibe within you, because we're a magnet. Our hearts are a magnet for that, right? Because there's no balance. There's no emotional balance in our heart. Our heart is just emotional producing, what do you call those things? Those big horns that we put up to our mouth and magnaphone or megalophone. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, that's what your heart becomes. It's like, listen to me, I'm in pain. I'm in pain, somebody pay attention to me. That's your inner wounded child, right? So yes, we have to figure out how to grow up from that. That's growing emotionally, bringing that emotional control into our life, our mind, ourselves, where our heart is listening to our mind and mind is informing our heart, and vice versa. There's not so much of this going on. It's like this. The two of you are at 50. Your mind, you brought your thinking up to 50, taking in spirit, taking it seriously, that the ethereal world, the unseen world is very, very real, and it makes things go, you know, it makes things tick my clock, makes things float my boat very nicely in the flow kind of thing. Sure, you're going to have dips every now and then, like I said, but when you're in balance like this, it's so difficult for you to stay in low vibe. So difficult for you to stay there for very long. You quickly bring yourself back up again. You do, because you do not like that frequency down there. You don't, not anymore. It's not something, you may be familiar with it if you haven't ever really stabilized yourself in spiritual growth, vibration. It'd be easier to stay in the lower vibe of fear, you know, pain, sadness, sorrow, grief, blah, 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 blah. Frustration, annoyance, being sarcastic, being spiteful, eye for an eye mentality, you know, all the lower vibe stuff, thinking and feeling. When you're balanced, you know, it might feel kind of awkward going above the frequency, but and you will want to resist going higher, but right when you're balanced like this, your mind goes with it. So you're saying to yourself at a higher vibe now, like maybe 60 or 70, seventh dimension, which is this getting closer and closer to all out wisdom, you know, all knowing, deep all knowing. All right. That you may be resistant to it at first, but with your mind, you're saying, look, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Come on. Don't resist it any longer. Come on, let's just do this. Yes. It feels awkward, and I might feel like really, really sad or just kind of angry for half a day because I'm being asked to do something that is not familiar to me, right? It's change. But you're going to say to yourself, because you're already controlled in 50, you're going to say, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to do. So of course I'm going to do this. I'm not going to say, no, boss, like, no, God, I'm just, you know, I want to stay where I'm at. I got enough perks and benefits here at this particular level of my job. I'm just going to say, thanks, boss, for the offer, but no thanks. I'm just going to stay here. No, you don't do that. Okay, so the crossroads here, let's get into this. The crossroads is that You needed to take a respite because you had a whole lot of, somebody was taking from you in one shape or another. They were taking from, remember this? Danger, especially in money matters. Danger, especially in money matters. Now, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be money matters, but it could be that she or he, your spouse, long-term partner, has been having an affair and it's been going on for a while. You had no idea. And maybe this person wants to take your roles, you know, and they could be doing things that's going to kind of sabotage you in one way or another, right? Or it's about tapping into your financial resources. That the partner that she or he is partnering with in the affair, the two of them may be, you know, collaborating on in covert ways and how they can somehow obtain access to the investments you have with your partner, right? With your spouse or partner. But you cut this out. Okay, so that's what you're doing, and there's a crossroads here. It says you've weighed the options, you decided, and now you're taking the opportunity to independently walk a different path. It says road trip too, for that matter. So you might actually be leaving that marriage home or long-term partner home into something else, into your own digs, right? Taking respite time. 4 of Swords. You've been beaten up. There's the 3 of Swords in the 4 of Swords, right? Because there's 4. So the 4th sword would be laying down beside you, because the 3 of Swords have been rammed into your heart, or just about there. And when you heal, take that respite time to heal, lay it all down, your busy mind, your ruminating thoughts, and ones that you go over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You get to lay all that down because you've learned that you need this rest to spend some time with you. Just you. Just single old you. Little old you. Your wounded inner child needs a cup of love. A cup of big love. So that you can find your happiness and get grounded in it. Grounded in happiness that is ever, you know, it's not fleeting. Like I said, it is stable for you. It's permanent now. It's kind of like you get a tattoo that says happiness, and the whole energy of that tattoo actually goes through your blood, through your veins, and it's all this happy energy, like the happy dance energy. You know, you're just feeling calm and peaceful, but, you know, content in some way, right? Happy. You don't have to be crazy doing the happy dance to be happy, for you to say, okay, I'm happy now because I'm doing happy dance. No. So we need to talk about the stork in the near future, Archangel Michael. I do believe we've rather really talked about these first 2 here. But yeah, the lover is a choice. It's a choice. Somebody's been making a choice that did not choose you, and perhaps in the past you did the same thing. Who's to say? For sure, because it doesn't say anything like that now, other than there's a soulmate on your mind that you have to transcend. You have to transcend the toxic way that you have been living with this person over here and dealing with her or his toxic energy. You've had to transcend that to transform yourself from the inside out. And there's the 3 of Wands. I mean, that, okay. And then we have the 5 of Cups. You deeply miss this one. You deeply miss your soulmate. 5 of Cups. You have regret and remorse not staying in touch with them, not keeping them in your life, maybe from not choosing them in the past and you went with somebody else, or you stayed with somebody else. It's hard to say because it's not telling us that. But you here are, you're not going to allow yourself, you're going to be tempted through your own fears of moving forward back towards a soulmate, excuse me guys, back towards a soulmate that you know is the one for you, and you've known them known that for a long time. There are your new foundation. They're your new past. They're your new they're your destiny, not new. They're your destiny and always have been. You know that about this person now. And I'm sure you think that she or he does too. But the Three of Wands is about, you're turning your back on your what you know now, what your past has been, and you're looking across the horizon to the one that you miss dearly. And this is a significant card right here. Five of Cups is that you are missing. This is crying over spilt milk, but there's the Two of Cups, in reverse. Two of Cups that is just hanging out there. They're hanging out there waiting for you to pay attention to them. And you are now. You're paying attention to a Two of Cups. That is true love for somebody. You feel very, very abundant and wealthy when you feel like this. Not like this, but when you feel that true love for your soulmate, that deep knowing you have, you feel very wealthy. Like, it makes you feel really good. It makes you feel rich in so many ways. Okay, but maybe the circumstances are collective that they're a long ways away from you, and it's going to cost this amount of money. It's going to cause you to get these kind of documents. It's going to cause you to leave these kind of families that don't want me to go that far away. It's a huge sacrifice and a compromise, right? But so you may be tempted again to just resort, and I think this is so significant again. You may be tempted to lower your standards in the sense that you're going to go with the lower vibe one that's right there in front of you again. Somebody who's closer to you physically, closer to you. It without being in communication with somebody that you have true love for, it's easy enough for you to dismiss it because of you're just not talking to them anyways, right? It's easy enough to dismiss it and go a totally different direction. Go a totally different direction because you might be telling yourself, oh, it's not possible anyways. Yeah, I love them dearly. I would love nothing to but how do we do this? How would I do this? It's not possible financially. Well, this is telling you that a whole lot of wealth is coming your way, and all you need to do is look at this document, which is oftentimes, and that's silly. I usually look at this particular message as an actual letter, as a document, some formal information that you need to receive, that if you were to take a second look at it, you're going to see that you need to focus on this. In other words, in order for you to move, upgrade, and improve, to bring something new, a new beginning into your life, having a rebirth or a birth of a new beginning, right? Birth of a new relationship. You need to look at some powerful documents that are going to tell you that whatever it is your desires are, it's going to be possible, because there's going to be some kind of financial income, like coming in, something financially is coming to you, some kind of and this could be through the divorce that you're having from your partnership over here. It could be that either through the sale of your family home, if that's what you're doing, or with the proceeds, right? Or it's like you are getting of course it's a settlement, right? But you're going to be getting a fair chunk, because maybe if you're not selling your house and you're leaving it so that your ex can stay in it with your kids or kid or whatever, and the dog and the picket fence kind of thing, trying to keep things stable and normal for your kids, not so much your ex, but your kids, right? You might be saying, well, look, why don't you stay in the house so their normal is not too blown up, right, and become abnormal. Their normal is still fairly normal for them from day to day, with staying in the same school, same friends, all that sort of stuff. But you pay me X number of dollars, and I will sign the house over to you. That kind of thing. I'll sign, you know, the title over to you. And it might be like, that's not going to be for all of you, obviously, but for some of you, you might have family that can help you out with that if you needed the help, right? Not you. Their family can help them out with that if they needed the help with that sort of thing. Okay? So yeah, and this could also be, too, guys, it could be like an inheritance that you didn't see coming, or you did see coming, but it's like you didn't see it coming, but now you're seeing it because it's coming through in the near future. It's being signed off to you. It's being released to you. Okay? You're going to receive something in the mail from the estate lawyer of the deceased person, or your lawyer or something, and it's coming to you, and it's all divinely guided, in the sense it's divinely brought into your life to be released to you at exact time when you need it most. Divine timing. Divine timing. So you look closer, you pay attention to, you focus on what resources are coming to you in the near future, and then by looking at it, you can say, this is what this is what I needed. This is what I need. This is what I can use to turn my back on the past, look across the horizon to where my girl is, or my guy is, who I desperately so miss. I desperately so miss. I am not going to just give up on my dreams. This is a warning by the divine. Don't give up on your dreams to be with the one that's in your heart. That's why you got in this mess in the first place. Like I say that again. Don't give up on your dreams to follow your heart and be with the one that's in your heart, because that's what you did that got you into this mess in the first place. So don't do it. Don't do it. Find out that the wealth that's within you is the one that you, I mean, how many of us can actually say we are with our soulmate? We might like to kid ourselves into thinking, yeah, this is my soulmate. Of course it is, but it feels more karmic than it does actually true soulmate kind of things. Feels more karmic. That you're paying off debt with this one. And I don't mean financial debt, but that's part of it. You're paying off some kind of karmic debt that you've accrued with how things are not gelling in your relationship. People's behaviors and things that you're telling yourself, I just have to put up with this because this is what marriage is. You know, it's not going to be all rainbow and sunshine, right? But that's just denying. That's denying what the truth is. The truth is that this person you've chosen to be with and have been with maybe for a while is truly not your true soulmate. There's one out there somewhere. If you haven't met them, you will, but you have to let go of this one first, right? So guys, this has been a rather long reading, so I'm just going to leave it there. All right, but it looks really good. You just have to remember that something's coming to you in the near future that is going, and it's divine timing with that white feather. It's coming to you because the divine knows your heart, right? Knows what your heart is truly calling out, or so it's going to try and support that, just like you support your inner child's issues. Okay, your inner child's issues from being able to heal. You support your inner child by helping them do this to heal, because it's you after all, right? Well, the divine is helping you as well with your issues of, I love this person, but I don't know how to get to her or him. They're helping you with that because they know that that's the true love that's in your heart that you want to be with in this lifetime, the one that you dearly miss, and that you will go to other planets to be with, kind of thing, if you had to. Because otherwise you might just fall into the old pattern of saying, well, I can't do this, what I really, really want, so I should just settle again. And to you, it's not going to seem like settling. You're going to meet somebody, you're going to think, oh, this is great, 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 great. knowing full well that this one is still there in the world, out there for you, and the one that you truly do love, but you're going to match up with somebody who isn't your match, who really isn't your match anymore. Remember how I said that we can be like, when we're balanced and we watch a TV and something reminds us of someone or something, and we go into that sad, slightly lower vibe, but then being awakened and aware, grown, we quickly bring our thoughts back up to this, because that just feels too icky, like too restrictive, too like tight, kind of like it feels like someone's got their hands around your heart and you can't really breathe. So you quickly correct yourself. So if you were trying to get with somebody who is not quite at your vibe level anymore, like at your vibe level because of you raising yours to 5th dimension or higher, you're going to know something's not right. You're going to know that this doesn't really feel like she's the right or he's the right choice for me, but you know, I like this about them, and I like that they don't do that. You know, you're just going to start convincing yourself and making excuses as to why that person's more, but the new person that you might meet, instead of going the extra mile to be with this one, that they're more of a best choice, more of a choice, a better choice for you right now, because you can't get to this one, because you're telling yourself you can't get to this one. The divine is saying, open up the letter, look, take a second look at it closer and see how it is that that person is truly the right one for you. Look at it, take a closer look. Even this is a message from the divine you receive while you're sleeping, or when you're meditating or praying or just doing something where your brain isn't really engaged, and a thought comes up or a memory comes up and it reminds you of this person here. Take a closer look at it. Whatever that thought, memory, or whatever that comes to you, stop and say, what was that all about? I do that all the time. I get these thoughts that come across my mind in meditation during the day, whenever I just sitting quietly or doing something else. I might be working on a project that I'm doing, and suddenly that it comes in real fast, and I try to catch it, and I catch it as best I can, and then it's gone, right? And then I'll think, that's about so and so. I wonder what that's all about, you know? And so I try to, and I ask the divine, please help clarify what that thought, you know, that idea or that thought was, that memory. Please help me to see what it is you are trying to show me. Thank you, and amen. So guys, that's what I know. That's the best that I know right now at this point in time with these particular cards in this reading. And until tomorrow, take good care of yourself. Bye for now.